Welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 8 with the Buffalo Sabres. We have simmed up to February 2nd. We got about 3 weeks before the trade deadline. We are 30-18-3, which, considering we were 10-15-1 at one point, I'll take it. So we are 23-2 in our last 25 games. We've moved in from 7th place up to 4th, but we are only 3 games out of 1st, 1 point out of 2nd with a game in hand on the Bruins. We're getting it done with our goaltending. You can see Lankinen 6th in the NHL in goals against, and Luukkonen is 7th. We're not really a high-scoring team. This has been a bit of a down year offensively. Eichel still leads us. He's got 24 goals, 38 points. Blake Wheeler's having a pretty good season with us this year. Klingberg's doing a nice job. Cousins only has 2 goals, but he has a game rating of 72, and he's got the second highest plus-minus on the team. So he did pick up his first couple goals of the year, which is good. Olofsson, even though we moved him down, has still played well. Tuck has bounced back a little bit, up to 30 points in 51 games. Kubolik is up to 15 goals, second on the team there. Nobody's really disappointing other than, I don't know, maybe Studnicka with his 62 game rating and Fisher. Those two guys haven't played particularly well. Dahlin only 24 points. He's a plus 11, but only a 69 game rating. So, I mean, we've been good defensively. Our goaltending's been fantastic, and our offense has been sort of iffy, to put it mildly, I guess. We're going to keep an eye on the trade block. We're not going to make any significant moves right this second. I expect this list to fill out here as we get closer to the deadline, and I do think it is time for us to go down to 1 episode a week. So we're going to be doing Friday will be Franchise Hockey Manager, and we're going to skip the Tuesday. That'll give me an extra day off, which I need because I am starting to get a little burned out between all of the different ventures I am involved in. So giving myself an extra day off will probably be good. Obviously, right now you got Makar, Crosby, and Malkin on the trade block, but we will just wait that out a little bit and see how things go. So let's just get to it. Let's just start simming a couple of days here and see what we get. Game at home against the Canucks is a 2-1 victory. And so this is a good game. So Studnicka gets hurt, Klingberg gets suspended, and Quinn blows out his elbow. Oh, well, that was a fun game. We get a goal from Klingberg and a goal from Clefbaum, and now we have a crap ton of stuff we need to do with our team. So Quinn will just... Look at all these friggin' injuries, man. All right. Peterka, he's not ready. I can't put somebody in with that defensive rating. I just can't do it. First off, Barré-Boulet, Tyson Kozak. Ugh. Man, we have some... let's go to... Yeah, there are no... I mean, the only free agents are RFAs. So I'm not going to sign any of the RFAs. I'm not going to sign any of these players. So I guess, yeah, let's just go to Rochester. And who is going to come up? I guess it's going to be first off. So first off will come up. And we will replace Quinn with first off. And then Quinn will go on the injury list. Studnicka's out. So we need another forward. He's out for 2 to 3 weeks. What does our injury list look like? Okay, so we get Shaw back in a couple of weeks, which will be good. This kind of sucks. Who else do we call up? Adam Sharon? He's not all that good. I mean, Paterka is the most developed at 2.5 stars, but that defense really concerns me. Yeah, he's just not that good. I think we just go Barré-Boulet. Let me just go Barré-Boulet. Go back to our team, and we will replace Studnicka with Barré-Boulet. Oh, man. The lines. Yeah, Klingberg is suspended, so I can't play him. I guess now Studnicka will go on the injured list as well. And then we got to go back down to Buffalo. I go back down to Rochester. And I guess it's Ryan Johnson time. I guess it is Ryan Johnson time while Klingberg is suspended. Oof. We are digging deep into our and we'll leave this. I'll leave Dahlin with Johnson. That's fine. I don't think he's a rushing defenseman though. No, I'd rather have like this. An offensive defenseman with a defensive defenseman, yeah. Yeah, we're digging deep into our bag of depth here to try to make things happen. So we'll look at the trade block again in a minute. So we're up to second place. We are up to second place. First off wants number 10. He can't have it. He can have 21. And Barré-Boulet wants 12. That's fine. All right. Board confidence. We were at 11-2 in February. Let's just sim up to our next game. So injuries. Injuries causing a problem for us here. So we may need to make a deal just to add some depth to our forward line. I don't want to run with Barré-Boulet for the rest of the season. Sam Steele waived. Ty Smilanic to Seattle for 26-year-old. The All-Star games. Braden Point of Team Blue did not draft a Buffalo Sabre. Leon Draisaitl did not draft a Buffalo Sabre, so I don't care about any of this. Okay. Mateau, no, I don't. I mean, his contract is manageable, but I mean, Mateau's not a bad. Yeah, his contract is too much. His contract is too much. I don't want to pay him that much money to potentially do nothing but sit on the bench. All right, let's keep going. So we're in the All-Star break here at 31-18-3. So we'll get through the All-Star break, and then we'll take a look at the trade block again. I mean, we're in pretty good shape. We are in second place, so waivers for Smith. Is that... Okay, it's Cole Smith. Sebastian Aho signs a 4-year deal with Carolina at almost $8 million per year. Meh. And he's terrible offensively. Look at those offensive ratings for a forward. That's awful. Wow. Okay, yeah, we're good without that. So the goal is to get, I think, try to give you a bit longer episode today because we're not going to do 2 episodes a week. So I might try to get up through the rest of the regular season. Cedric Paquette, yeah, he's making a lot of money too. You can see why some of these guys are on waivers. Tight race in the Atlantic Division. Look at those. Look at that standing. So 6 points separates first and fifth. Rangers with the best record in the East. Not interested in either of those players. So we got Carolina coming up post All-Star break. The 25-22-2 Carolina Hurricanes. Austin Matthews signs a 7-year, $100 million contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. That is a lot of money. Oof. I mean, good for him, but that is a lot of money. Jake Gensel, 7 years, $44 million. All right, let's take a look at the trade block. Yeah, Braden Shen's on there again. But still, that's just too much money. I mean, O'Reilly, I wouldn't mind a Ryan O'Reilly, but again, not at $8.5 million. I can't believe Colorado's trying to trade Makar. I mean, I'll try when we get closer, and see if we can make it work, but Drew Doughty, no. I don't really need a defenseman. I need a forward. I need forward depth. Logan Couture? He's a 4-year contract. No, thank you. No, thank you with the 4-year deal. Vertanen, Lazat, Solaric. No. All right. We'll keep looking. Nobody there has really interested me yet. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Makar interests me. Sidney Crosby interests me, but I can't afford any of that. So we lose 3-1. It's only our 4th loss since December 1st. We get down 2-0. Suzuki and Nachas score in the second. We get a goal from Eichel. They score to make it 3-1. All right, so a point behind Tampa. They have 2 games in hand. Kyler Yamamoto. I could see claiming a Kyler Yamamoto. Definitely would be some better depth, so we'll claim him. Get to our next game. We'll look at the trade block again, see if we actually signed Yamamoto. So we have a game. We did. Okay, so we do add Kyler Yamamoto. He wants number 56. That's fine. Contact ready for Owen Power, ready for full contact. John Carlson plays in his 1,000th game. Blackwell and Kolmakov to the Senators for Formanton and Grosnick. Pedersen signs with the Canucks, 3 years, $33 million. Too many players on the active roster. We will switch Barré-Boulet with Yamamoto, and we will put him on waivers. Yamamoto, Taves, and Fisher. Sure, that works. I don't have anybody ready to play yet, right? No, Power's still out. Tuck is still out. Klingberg's still suspended. All right. Let's get to this game with Montreal. We'll look at waivers again. I mean, I think we are going to make a deal. How large of a deal remains to be seen. Studnicka ready to resume skating. Riley Sheehan, but it's 3. Again, I'm not taking on a 3-year contract. I might take on, like I took on that 2-year contract with Yamamoto, but not anything longer than that and not at big money. So, all right, let's end the day. Let's see how this game goes against Montreal. Canadians, one of the worst teams in the NHL this year, and we win easily, 5-1. Did we suffer another injury? Yoki Haru for 5 weeks. Oh, come on. Kubolik scores. Fisher in first off for this first National Hockey League goal. Wheeler gets his 14th. Middlestat is 12th. Luukkonen gets the win. I know Yoki Haru's injured. Let's just get to our next game. Hopefully by then we'll have Justin Danforth. No. Hopefully by our next game we'll have Klingberg back. So still got a game. Bruins still have a game in hand on us. We are 2 points or 1 point ahead of them. We have Philadelphia coming up. Seattle and Winnipeg. Ryan Donato to the Jets for a 2nd-round pick. Mason Shaw. Okay, so we can dress. Oh, Blake Wheeler is considering retirement. So we can dress Owen Power. Morgan Frost to Detroit for a 2nd. All right, now let's take a look at our roster. Okay, so Power is back. Yoki Haru's down, so let's replace him with Power. 1 to 2 months. Let's just stick him on the injury list. lines. I want power up here on the top line. Clefbaum and Samuelson. Oops, not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here. Cousins, Dahlin, Johnson, Blickfield. Sure, I guess. Okay. Has this changed at all? We're going to check it pretty regularly here over the next few days. No, not really. All right, let's get through this game against Philadelphia. See if we can keep winning. We've only lost 4 games since December, and we win at 2-1. No injuries, thankfully. We make it through a game without getting injured. Still don't score many goals, but Dahlin from first off and Taves. Johnson. Ryan Johnson picks up his goal from Taves and first off. So first off has 2 assists in this one. Luukkonen stops 34 out of 35, and we win. Couple of 2.5-star players on there, both a little bit older. So the Bruins keep winning, and we keep winning. So we're still a point up on the Bruins. They still have a game in hand. Tampa still has 2 games in hand, and we are just a point ahead of them. Big game here against Florida, as they are 1 game behind us. Anze Kopitar trade rumored. Okay, so we have a lot of players ready to go. Mason Shaw is ready. Tuck is ready. Tyler Toffoli. Really? Okay. Ottawa, New York. Tyler Benson goes to New York for a second. All right, let's get our roster set here. Shaw's ready to go. Put him on the active roster. Let's get back to our team. All right, so we got Tuck. We got Klingberg, who will replace Johnson. And we're going to have to reset our lineups here as well. So Klingberg back out there. Blickfield we will replace with Shaw. And then Fisher, Cousins. First off, he's got 3 points in 3 games. I feel bad taking him out of the lineup, but it feels like that's the right move. Yep. First off will come out. Tuck will come in. Let's reset the line. So Eichel, Wheeler, and Cousins. Middlestat, Kubolik, and Olofsson. Taves. Taves can go down to the 4th line. I don't like having Tuck on that 3rd line. And I feel like that's the right move for now. Shaw, Tuck, and Fisher. And then once Studnicka comes back, he can go back on that 3rd line. I think that's what we're going to do. Olofsson. Okay, so that is fine. Tuck, Middlestat, Kubolik, Shaw. Yep. Okay, I'm good there. All right, so we've got a lot of our players back, but I want to take a look now. Let's go back, because with those names that just popped up there. All right, so Toffoli's got 1 year left. Jacob Vrana's got 1 year. Kasperi Kapanen. Sam Rolata, yeah. Mason Appleton, Ryan Hartman. Anze Kopitar. I can't imagine Kopitar would cost much money. Or do we want to aim a little higher? I mean, like a Jacob Vrana? What would it take to get a Jacob Vrana from the Stars? Like if we started with Yoki Haru, who we aren't going to play anymore, Christian Fischer, and does this get us? That's the wrong team. Does this get us even close? I like the idea of adding a Jacob Vrana to our team. I really do. Toffoli is, I mean, he's listed as a goal scorer. Vrana. Yeah, Jacob Vrana's the guy, I think. He's only 27. I mean, we could go down, like I said, and go after someone like Anze Kopitar, who's more of a two-way player. But we kind of already have Anze Kopitar and Jonathan Taves. Although it would take a whole lot less to get Kopitar, I would imagine. Vrana is somebody we could potentially bring back. Kopitar would be a true rental. Let's just look and see what it would take to pick up someone like Anze Kopitar. And let's start with the players that we have no interest in bringing back. So let's start with Christian Fischer. Where did he go? I bet if we do Fischer and one of the two defensemen that we aren't going to bring back, they would take it. Yeah. We could do Fischer and Yoki Haru, two players we're not going to bring back, and we could bring in Anze Kopitar. He's really just a center, though, and we don't really need another center. We're pretty solid down the middle. Yeah, I feel like it's Vrana. I feel like that's the right move. Because he can play the left or the right. We can stick him on really the third line and have Vrana with Shaw and Tuck on that third line. All right, let's get back in here. Let's get back in here. All right. Is there anybody else on the main roster that I'm willing to give up? And I got to remember that this is truly a rental. So, well, he may not be. I mean, financially, next year financially might be tough, but like we get Lankinen off the books in 2 years. Kubolik we could move if we needed to. Sean Middlestat are fine in the middle. Oh, right, because I just signed him. I can't turn around and trade him. All right, so let's go back in here. I really don't want to give up any of these, like, 6 players here. Devin Levy. Dawson Seitz. And a second. I mean, that feels okay. The only name here that I would really not want to give up is Seitz, but Yoki Haru, Fischer, Levy, Seitz, and a second for Jacob Vrana, and then we can see about re-signing him. We're really eliminating a lot of our draft picks here, but let's go down here. Let's try that. Whoa, okay. So, yeah, Yoki Haru, Fischer, Levy, Seitz, and a second-round pick in 2026 for Jacob Vrana. Let's do it. All right, we did it. We did it. All right, so Vrana's going to get dressed, and we will stick him on the third line. Can't believe we're putting him on the third line with Shaw and Tuck. Yeah, this fourth line is just not going to play very much. Master Simone, Taves, and Yamamoto, they're just not going to play very much. We're going to run 3 lines really heavy. Wheeler, Eichel, Cousins, Olofsson, Middlestat, Kubolik, Tuck, Shaw, Vrana. Go to the power play. We got to get Jacob Vrana out there, obviously. Where are we going to put him, though? I guess for Shaw? Yeah. And what does he want to come back? Just out of curiosity. Okay. That's manageable. That's manageable. It's an off-season. It's an end of the season manageable thing when we see exactly what we need to move on from. But I think that's a good deal. So let's keep going. We'll get up to the trade deadline. Get up to the end of February. I'll probably sim March offline. We'll come back and do April online, and it will be the end of the regular season. So we lose 3-2. Eichel score, but it's not enough. 33-20-3. We are in third place now. with a point. Red Wings are done with Philip Keitel. Arttu Ruotsalainen moving on again, now from Winnipeg to Detroit. Let's see if we can win against Tampa. Big game here against first place Lightning. Another loss, another 3-2 loss. Kubolik is day-to-day. Yes, I know. All right. Yeah, so we're back in that position where we have games in hand on other teams. Yeah, we are now, okay, so we're in fourth place again. We're a point behind the Bruins, 3 behind the Panthers, 7 behind the Lightning. I think we have that playoff spot locked, pretty much locked up. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're only 55 games into the season or something. Yeah, we're in 5th. All right. We have the first wild card spot with a 5-point lead over Toronto. Okay. Well, that's encouraging. Jordan Stahl looking to be traded there. Jeff Skinner is on the trade block. He got signed by Montreal, 8 points in 23 games. Mike Hoffman. Unfortunately, if you trade for Mike Hoffman, you also trade for his wife. Roster. Kubolik is hurt. We'll replace him with... first off, we'll go into the lines, and we'll move Vrana up to the second line. So now it's Olofsson, Middlestat, Vrana. Can we beat Colorado? We got a tough schedule here in front of us, guys. Tampa Bay and then Colorado. We've lost 2 in a row. We've lost 3 straight games by the final score 3-2. At least we pick up a point in this one. I think we lost this one in overtime. We did. We were down 2-0. We get goals from Olofsson and Klingberg in the second and third, and then they get a goal from Burakovsky in OT. So, all right. 4 points behind Florida. Florida has 2 games in hand. 6 points behind Tampa. They have 1 game in hand. So it's going to be hard to catch those teams. All right, so we are at the trade deadline. Yep, we're going to make this deal. Charlie Galobe. Even if he doesn't work out to a C, he's a 3.5-star potential forward at age 20 for Alex Barré-Boulet, who's a 2-star player. Absolutely. Stamkos re-signs with Tampa. 1 year, $6 million. Pontus Aberg for Cole Smith. All right, let's get through the deadline. Too many players on the active roster. Okay. Yeah, let's send him down. All right. Let's see if we can win this game. We've hit a rough stretch here. 0-2-1 in our last 3. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Nachos out for 3 months. Cam Fowler out for 5 months. And we are 0-3-1 in our last 4 games. That's not good. We'll get to the end of February here day by day. Come on, what are we doing? And then I will sim ahead to... I'll sim March offline, and we'll come back. It'll be April. So we're still sitting in 4th place now. Bit of a rough patch here for us. We got Seattle coming up. Hopefully we can beat the Kraken. Kubolik better sooner rather than later. Ross Johnson for Ollie Eriksson Ek. Studnicka. Looks like he's getting better. We will replace first off with Kubolik. And we will put Kubolik back on that second line with Middlestat. Has Vrana? I don't think Vrana has any points since we traded for him. Nope, 4 games, no points. All right, well, let's see how this game goes against the Kraken. This is a game we need to win. We hit a bumpy stretch after being red hot for 2.5 months. And we win 3-1. That is nice. Wheeler with 2 assists. Goligoski scores against his former team. We're down 1-0 going into the third. We get goals from Master Simone, Eichel, and Olofsson. A lot of penalties in the third period. But we do pull this one out. We win 3-1. holding on to that fourth spot in the Atlantic Conference. Still one of the better records in the East. It's just a very tough Atlantic this year. Florida, Tampa, Boston have 3 of the top 4 records in the division, or in the conference rather. So that's where I'm going to pause. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sim March offline. So when we come back, it'll be April, and we will do the end of the regular season, and we'll call it an episode. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back. It is Monday, April 1st, and you can see it's a dogfight, man. We are in second place. 1 point clear of the Lightning, 2 points behind the Panthers. If we take a look at our schedule since our schedule for March, we actually did okay. We lost a few games here in the middle of the month, but overall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1, 2, 3, 9 and 4 that month. 9 and 4. I think actually technically 9, 3, and 1. I think this was an overtime. Yeah, an overtime loss. So 9, 4, and 1 that month puts us in second place. Again, our goaltending has just been lights out this season. Pekka Luukkonen. So here's the deal. If Pekka Luukkonen isn't in the running for the Vezina, then you know the game has pre-recorded bias. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but players that it expects to win the Vezina. So they will show up on the list. So if we see like Vasilevsky on the list, for example, like I would expect that it would be Luukkonen, Sorokin, and Juuse Saros. Those would be the 3 that I would expect, just looking at the numbers here, but we'll see what it says. So we're gonna I guess we're gonna get through the rest of the regular season, and then we'll take a look at the final team stats, and we'll call it an episode. And next episode will be hopefully a long postseason run, but if not a long postseason run, it'll be a postseason and offseason episode. So let's go ahead and sim this one. So yeah, another good month for us. I'm really happy with the way we played in March. We get smoked there. We lose 5-2. Nico Hischier with a hat trick. We get goals from Eichel and Kubolik. Luukkonen does not have a good game there. So just as I start talking about how he should be in the running for the Vezina, he gives up 5 to the New Jersey Devils. Board confidence, 8, 4, and 1. Development report for last month. First off, gets better. Pekka Luukkonen, Master Simone gets better. Power, Studnicka, Vrana, who has 6 points in 20 games. Not great, but his offense is up to a 16. So, I think we bring him back, because next year we're going to have Kisakov. We're going to have Poltapov on the team. We're going to have Nemestikov on the team. So we've got some players that we'll be able to plug in around him, and we'll probably move him up. Next year into maybe the second line or even the first line. We beat Tampa 2-1. That's a good win for us. First off with an assist, Mattias Samuelsson with his first NHL goal. He's developing nicely as a defensive defenseman. Those defensive ratings are just stacked. He's a beast. He's somebody that every team needs to have. And then we win in a shootout. So just the 1 goal. Lankinen stops 27 out of 28. Barre Boulet back on waivers. He got claimed by Ottawa. So 2 points behind Florida. Florida with a game in hand. 2 points ahead of Tampa. Tampa with a game in hand. So that second place is we're hanging on by a thread here, but that's fine. Ryan Johnson is ready to come back. We had to call up Mitch Elliott because of the injuries that we suffered on the D line. Put Johnson in there. Yeah, we have Clefbaum is back in a couple of weeks, so we should have him back for the postseason. Huge game here against Florida, against the top team in the East. And we beat them 4-1. Very nice. Very, very nice. We get a goal and an assist from Vrana and Olofsson. Power with 2 assists. That's what I like to see. Jacob Vrana potting a couple of goals for us from first off and power. 3 third-period goals, Rasmus Dahlin, Jack Eichel, Victor Olofsson. Luukkonen stops 27 out of 28. A lot of 2.5-star players on waivers. So we still have one game in hand on both Florida and Tampa, but we're now tied with Florida for the Atlantic Division lead. And we're taking on Tampa now. Jonathan Toews is ready to come back. Who would I pull? I think first off, replace him with Toews. Right? Yeah. And let's go to the lineup. And Toews will be the centering master. Look at that fourth line. Toews, Mastro Simone, and Jack Studnicka. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe next year we put Eichel and Vrana together on that first line and just sort of see what happens. And then we have Cousins setting them up. All right, huge game here against Tampa. Huge game against Tampa as they have a game in hand. And we are currently, we lose 5-4, but I think we lose in a shootout. So we do get a point, which is big there. 3 first-period goals, Wheeler, Power, and Shaw. They get Moran and Kachuk. Braden Point scores in the second for them. Klingberg for us. Moran scores in the third. They win in the shootout. Luukkonen stops 33 of 37. Mattias Samuelsson is hurt, so we'll send him ahead to the next game. So still a game in hand for Tampa and Florida. We could finish in third. We could finish in first. We'll see how it goes here. All right, so we got Columbus. Let's go back to our roster. Samuelsson is out for how long? Oh, no. Well, that sucks. All right. He's still got a sprained knee. He's still game unavailable. So, yeah, we're just going to have to run with what we have for the time being. That one hurts. I just get done singing his praises, and now he's out for the rest of the season. All right, so let's end this game against Columbus. We got back-to-back games here, Columbus and New York. 6-3 victory. GM job, Stan Bowman, as he should be. Let's take a look at the box score. We get a Hattie from Eichel, a goal and an assist from Tuck, 2 assists from Middlestat. So we score 3 first-period goals. Eichel, Vrana, and Kubolik. Eichel with his 40th. Eichel with his 41st from Mastro Simone and Studnicka in the second. And then in the third, Tuck and Eichel again. Luukkonen stops 28 of 31. All right, so we're in first place. Wow, we are in first place. 47, 26, and 6. So Florida and Tampa both have a game in hand on us. So we're still hanging on. Florida, if they win, they will leapfrog us. But a little bit of separation here from Tampa. They have a game in hand. They're 3 points behind us. It's just the Rangers or the Islanders. I guess the Islanders aren't as good. The Rangers are having a good season. So let's end the day. 47, 26, and 6. And another victory. We beat the Rangers 3-2. Eichel with a goal and an assist. Cousins with a goal and an assist. Dylan Cousins with only 5 goals on the year. But you know what? 71 game rating. He's got 47 assists. He's having a good year. No complaints. He's just not scoring a lot of goals. And you look here, his offensive ratings would suggest that he's not going to score a ton of goals. But good puck handling. Good passing. He's doing really well on that first line with us. I don't know if he's going to stay there next year, but he seems to be kind of building rapport with Eichel. I mean, Eichel's got 40-something goals. So, all right. So, game in hand. That's what I like to see. A game in hand on both teams now with a 3-point advantage over both Florida and Tampa. Got a game against Montreal now. This is a game we need to win against a very bad Canadiens club. Ooh, wow, that's a tough one. We lose 3-1 to the worst team in the East, 31, 41, and 9. So Suzuki gets on the board for them. They get goals from Dvorak and Struble. We get Blake Wheeler's 19th of the game. And we're back to it. So Florida's got a game in hand, 2 points behind. Tampa Bay has a game in hand, 1 point behind. We have one game left. It's against either the Rangers or the Islanders. And okay, so here we are. So with one game left in the season for all of us, we are taking on, I don't know if this is the Islanders or the Rangers. It doesn't tell me. I guess we can just go here. We are playing whom? Where is it? Right here. The New York Rangers in the final game of the season. Tampa plays Toronto, and Florida plays Pittsburgh. So we're taking on the Rangers, first place team out in the Metropolitan. Florida is taking on Pittsburgh, and Tampa is taking on Toronto. So we could finish in first, we could finish in third. We could finish in second, too, depending on what happens with Florida. So, identical records to the Panthers. Excuse me. One game behind Tampa. Let's see how this season ends. Do we win? If we lose, it's a non-factor. We're going to finish in third. If we win, and we win 5-1, 49, 27, and 6 to finish this season. Olofsson with 2 goals, Middlestat 2 assists, Klingberg with a goal, Mastro Simone from Elliott, and Studnicka Olofsson from Middlestat and Dahlin. Eichel with his 44th. Wheeler picks up his 40th assist. Dylan Cousins 48 assists. Klingberg from Dahlin and Shaw. Olofsson in the third period. And Luukkonen stops 24 of 25. Oh, Florida and Tampa won as well. So we are going to finish in third place, which means I think we're going to be taking on Florida in the postseason. So let's just sim ahead. We'll take a look at the team stats. Eichel finished 5th in the National Hockey League in goals this year with 44. Lankinen and Luukkonen finished 3-4 in save percentage. Max Pacioretty signs an extension with a 1-year deal for a now 35-year-old Max Pacioretty, who's coming off a 40-goal season. So $4.9 million for 40 goals. That's a deal. Lankinen played 21 games. Luukkonen played 62. So really, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen led the NHL in goals against this year because Lankinen, Vikman, and Melanchuk didn't play enough. DiPietro did. Save percentage, Luukkonen's not in there, and he's third in wins. So it'll be interesting. I mean, he absolutely belongs in the Vezina conversation, so we'll see if he gets it. So we finished third. Again, for the third straight season, we finished third. Let's take a look at the team stats before we call it an episode. So Eichel, 68 points in 75 games, less than a point a game. Bit of a surprise there. Is that a career high in goals for him? 44 goals is a career high for Mr. Eichel at 27 years old. I'll take it. Blake Wheeler, in what's probably his final season, played really, really well for us after a slow start. 59 points in 82 games, a 75 game rating for the 37-year-old Wheeler. Jacob Vrana had 9 points in 27 games. Not great, but again, we have him playing on the third line, so it's not a surprise. Olofsson with another solid season, 53 points in 79 games. His production dipped a bit because he wasn't playing on the top line anymore, but he was fine. Cousins, again, 48 assists, plus 12, 70 game rating. He was fine. I don't know. I mean, Vrana may go up to that first line next year. Not really sure yet. That's still a ways to go. So Middlestat, 45 points in 82 games. Pretty good season for Casey as our second line center. Klingberg, 65 game rating, but did have 45 points in 73 games for us. He was fine, and really his contract isn't that unreasonable. It's under $6 million, so as long as we're not up against the salary cap, we'll likely hold on to him. Tuck, I don't want to say he was a disappointment. Again, playing on the third line, the game rating was fine, but he just didn't score as much. Had the same number of assists, but his goals were down this year, so I think we'll be fine. Kubolik, if we're going to move on from somebody, it's probably going to be Kubolik. Kind of is what he is. It looks like he's going to score between 15 and 20 goals a year, which is fine, but, we can probably get that for less money next year. Dahlin, I don't know, man. I feel like he should be better than he is. I mean, you look at his game ratings. He hasn't broken 70 yet. only 36 points in 75 games, and we have him signed, so obviously we're gonna hang with him here and just see what happens. But I expect more out of him. Studnicka wasn't great last year; he had a really good season 2 years ago. Mastro Simone was fine as our fourth line center, no complaints about that. Played all 82 games, 24 points. Owen Power in his first full year. The game rating is a little ouch, but was a plus 14, chipped in 9 goals. Taves was fine as our third and fourth line center. Bryson, again, will likely be gone next year. Yamamoto played a little bit, didn't score for us. Shaw was a bit of a disappointment in that, he averaged a point every third game, but he was a -8 on that third line. That's a bit of a concern. First off, chipped in some offense for us, which was nice. 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in 13 games. Samuelsson, I'm looking forward to the defense once he comes back. Ryan Johnson will be playing full-time in the playoffs because we don't have Samuelsson. Elliott played 8 games in relief for us, and then Lankinen, 9-10, a losing record for Kevin Lankinen. 9-10 with a 2.29 and a 9.20. Pekka Luukkonen, 40-17 with a 2.37 and a 9.19. If we look at Rochester, Peterka is now up to 2.5 star, but his overall is down to 3 star. I hate the defense, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to stick him in the lineup with that defense. We might use him as a trade chip. That's really it. We don't really have anybody else down there. Oh, Portillo is up now. Apparently he has graduated, so we should probably offer him a contract. I can't offer him a contract right now. We will offer him a contract, though, when we can. Yeah, he'll be in Rochester next year, and he will likely replace Lankinen when the time comes. So let's go back, I guess, and can we look at the playoffs? Playoffs aren't ready to go yet. Let's just sim ahead to the playoffs. We'll see who we're playing. We'll take a look at that roster real quick, and we will call it an episode. All right, so here we go. Vezina, or excuse me, the Hart Trophy, Matthews, McKinnon, and Braden Point. The Vezina, yeah. Georgiev was not better. He simply was not better. So Georgiev, or Georgiev, I think, 38, 21, and 8 with a 2.61 and a 9.25. Sorokin, 32, 22, and 9 with a 2.47 and a 9.26. I got 2 of them right. I said Sorokin and Saros would be 2 of the 3. But to leave Luukkonen off there is a travesty. Norris, Petrangelo, Yossi, and Theodore. Calder Trophy, Aturati, Connor Bedard, who scored 44 points as an 18-year-old, and Jacob Perreault. Executive of the Year, Brisebois, Fitzgerald, and Stevie Yzerman. Selke, Lehkonen, Stone, and Carlson. Arturi Lehkonen. How did he end up on the Bruins? Oh, they just signed him as a free agent. Good for them. Lady Bing, Matthews, Connor, and Draisaitl, Messier, McDavid, McKinnon, and Larkin. Ted Lindsay, Matthews, Point, McKinnon, Jack Adams, Blashill, Cooper, and Lindy Ruff. All right, so can we look at it now? No, we can't. Yep, we're playing Florida. We'll take a look at the Panthers here. So again, we good, and Clefbaum is ready, so that's huge. So let's get him back in the lineup. Replace Elliott with Clefbaum, and we'll reset the lines next episode. So Samuelsson will go on the injured list. We'll reset the lines next episode, or not reset, but just take a look and make sure that everything is as we want it. Like, I think I probably want to do that. Just do that now. I don't want Johnson as that second power play guy. I want it to be Klingberg. I guess we'll just do it now. Eichel, Wheeler, Cousins, Middlestat. I'm going to take Kubolik. We got Vrana out there. And here we're going to put Vrana in for Kubolik. PK. Taves needs to be our top center. Shaw with, I guess we don't really have a lot. I guess, Wheeler's out there on the top line. Tuck. Yeah, we'll go Sean Tuck on the top line, and then Taves, and then Taves. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at the Florida Panthers, and then that'll be that. So they finished 49 at 27 and 6, 1 point ahead of us. They were led in scoring, no surprise, by Alexander Barkov, 73 points in 70 games. Huberdeau, a lot of very balanced scoring. Nobody with more than 30, but 6 players with at least 20. Huberdeau, 65 points. Carter Verhaeghe, Owen Tippett, Alexei Sorella. Sam Bennett is not dressed right now. I wonder if he's hurt. Aksari Laaksonen, the former Blackhawk, was claimed by Florida, and he played in 80 games and had 47 points for Florida. That was a mistake by us, waiving Laaksonen. But, you live, you learn. Geeky with 22 goals. Anthony Duclair with 20. Aaron Ekblad, only 3 goals for Florida this season. What's his contract? He's got 1 year left after this one. Mackenzie Weegar, Brandon Montour, Gustav Forsling, Anton Lindell, Noah Acciari, Nolan Foote, now of the Florida Panthers, Samskovich, Saren Noel, and they had a couple players who didn't play much. Their goalies are whom? Spencer Knight and Aiden Hill. So we'll see Spencer Knight, 37, 23, and 6, 276, and a 913. So that's who we will be taking on in our next episode as we look to improve on last year, which was an Eastern Conference Finals run. Can we make the Stanley Cup this year? Actually, did we make the Stanley Cup final last year? I can't even remember. Let's look at the history. It doesn't say. It just says playoffs. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. At any rate, guys, that is going to do it for this one. So when we come back, it'll be the postseason. We'll take on the Florida Panthers and see how we can do this year. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, I appreciate you watching and I appreciate the support. I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye, guys.